everyone, good day. So our video for today talks about the case study method of research. Case study methods involves the study of individual. Example, a case of a phenomenon being researched. The aim is to seek to understand the phenomenon by studying one or more single examples. The case can refer to a real life or hypothetical event, organization, individual or group of people, and or issue. Depending upon your assignment, you will be asked to develop solutions to problems or recommendations for future action. So basically, what is a case study method? A case study method is a detailed study of a specific subject such as a person, group, place, event, organization, or phenomenon. Case studies are commonly used in social, educational, clinical, and business research. A case study research design usually involves qualitative methods, but quantitative methods are sometimes also used. Case studies are good for describing, comparing, evaluating, and understanding different aspects of a research problem. What the case study method is not. The case study is not itself a research method, but researchers select methods of data collection and analysis that will generate material suitable for case studies. The case study method is not just a form of qualitative research. Even though it may be recognized among the array of qualitative research choices, some case study research goes beyond being a type of qualitative research by using a mix of quantitative and qualitative evidence. In case study, there is also a scale that consists of individuals, communities, or what we call villages, islands, cities, whole countries, organizations, and companies, places and projects or events. These demographic and geographic dimensions are classified into places and events. In case study, there is also validity and reliability. Reliability and validity are concepts used to evaluate the quality of research. They indicate how well a method, technique, or test measures something. Reliability is about the consistency of a measure, and validity is about the accuracy of a measure.
Hi, my name is Christine C. Duarte, and let's continue the number 4. So the number 4 is the merits of the case study approach. So the particular merits of the case study method can be summarized as follows. So first, the ability to place people, organizations, events, and experiences in their social and historical context. So next is the ability to treat the subject of study as a whole rather than attracting a limited set of pre-selected features. The next is the multiple methods, triangulations, or implicit, and seen as maura siya makita as a strength, and the single or limited number of cases offers a manageable data collection task when resources are limited, and flexibility and data collection strategy allows researchers to adapt their research strategy as the research proceeds, and there is no necessity to generalize to a defined wider population. So next is the number 5. So the number 5 is design and conduct of case studies. So while the case study method offers flexibility, it does not absolve the researchers from undertaking the usual initial preparatory steps. So specifying research questions, reviewing the literature, establishing the theoretical framework, and determining the data needs and sources as discussed in chapter 3. As in any research, it is important to plan to avoid the problem of having collected a lot of data and not knowing what to do with it. So the amount of flexibility offered is rarely unlimited. For example, in some circumstances, it may be possible to interview people or ask them for data. A number of times as new issues emerge in the course of the research, but in other circumstances, this may not be possible. So, in addition to the general guidance and the planning of research projects set out in Chapter 3, there are 3 specific issues are discussed here. So first is defining the unit of analysis. Then the second one is selection of cases. And the third one is the data gathering. So the first one is defining the unit of analysis. So while it might be a somewhat obvious point to make, it is necessary to be clear about the unit of analysis in the case study research. So, for example, if the unit of analysis, the case is a single leisure or tourism facility owned by a large organization, it is important to keep the analysis at the facility level. For example, the policies and practices of the parent organizations are inevitably relevant, but they are given influences on the facility management. So the research is not about the parent organization. Conversely, data on the individual staff of the facility will form part of the research, but only in so far as they contribute to an understanding of the operation of the facility as a unit. The second one is selecting the cases. So the key importance in the case study method is the selection of the case or cases. So this is of course comparable to sampling in a cross case study. So there are 4 types of case selection can be considered. So first is purposive. Purposive where more than one case is involved. The selection of cases is likely to be purposive. For example, in selecting a range of firms of similar or different sizes in the same or different industries in comparable or non-contrasting geographical locations or similar or contrasting levels of profitability. So next, and the second one is the illustrative. So the illustrative is often the cases will be deliberately chosen to increase the likelihood of illustrating a particular proposition. For example, is if the research is concerned with leadership success, then the successful organizations with the high profile leaders may be deliberately chosen. So the third one is typical or atypical. So the case may be chosen because it is believed to be typical of the phenomenon being studied. So or it may be deliberately chosen as an extreme or a typical case. For example, a study is examining the secrets of success in a particular industry might well select the most successful company for study. Then the last one is the pragmatic or opportunistic. In some cases, the selection of cases may be pragmatic. So, for example, when the researcher has ready access to an organization, possibly because he or she is an employee of it. So, whatever the rationale for the selection of a case or cases, it should be clearly articulated in the research report and the implications of the selection discussed. So the third one is the data gathering. So a case study project generally uses a number of data sources and data gathering techniques, including the use of documentary evidence, secondary data analysis, in-depth interviews, questionnaire surveys, observation, and participants. So, chapter 12 case study method observation. So, the process of selecting data sources and collection techniques is the same as any other research process. As discussed in chapter 3, it is noted that all data collection should be linked to the research questions. So even in cases where the research questions are being modified as the research progress. So when a number of disparate data types and sources are involved, two other issues should be borne in mind. So the first one is the consistency of the unit of analysis. If, for example, participation data are involved, it is important that the data relate to the same geographical unit, and the second one is the temporal consistency. So ideally, all data should relate to the same time period. This is related to the issue of the unit of analysis. So since reorganization of, for example, a corporate body or administrative boundaries can result in changes in the size, so composition and functions of organizations over time.
So next is I'll be talking about analysis and case studies in practice. So first, what is analysis? So to the extent that the design of the case study or parts of it resembles that of more formalized research projects with fixed research question and corresponding data collection and analysis procedures, the analysis process will tend to be deductive in nature. The analysis will be designed to address the questions. And there are three main methods of analysis are outlined by both Burns 1994 and Yan 2009. The first method is the pattern matching. So what is pattern matching? Pattern matching is relating the features of the case to what might be expected from some existing theory. And the second one is the explanation building. And it is often an iterative process whereby a logical or causal explanation of what is discovered and what is developed by to form referencing between theory and explanation and data. And the third one is the time series analysis. So this is where explanations are developed on the basis of observing change over the time period of the study. Next is what are case studies in practice. So there are 4 case studies in practice I'll be sharing to you, and the case studies provide brief detail on each study. So the first study is about English life and leisure. So this study is previously examined for its qualitative content, but here nothing the use of individual interview-based case histories of the leisure lives of individuals and a secondary or documentary source-based case study of a small town and its leisure infrastructure. So the next example of case study I'll be sharing to you is the Aero Disneyland. So this case study presents a history over a 10-year period in which the Aero Disneyland theme park and resort located in north of Paris was conceived, planned, and developed and opened. up to its third year of operation when it is made at its first profit following a series of losses. Based on the participant observation, interviews, and secondary sources, it covers a wide range of development, design, marketing, and financial issues. The third one is about the Nike advertising and the women. So this study summarizes research by Carty 1997 on a single aspect of the behavior of single organization, which is the sports apparel of multinational Nike. She uses a number of data sources, but in particular illustrates the use of content analysis of print, posters, and television advertising. The case study focuses on the issues whether the Nike's rhetoric about treating women as respected customers is followed through their advertising. The last one is the case study of Wayne's 1998, which talks about leisure lifestyle and the new middle class. This is a study of residents of a new middle class housing estate using questionnaire survey, in-depth interviews, and ethnographic or participant observation methods, focusing on the class situations and lifestyle groups and their distinctive patterns of the use of estate's leisure center or club.